Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd Podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I am your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on in, shall we? Starting with our game news topic, and our first game news topic of the day is Resident Evil Requiem leaks have teased dual timelines, Leon's return in an open world horror adventure. Let's go ahead and take a look here at this article from Game Rant. Leak suggests that Leon will be playable in Resident Evil Requiem with his storyline set in 2020 and focus on action-oriented gameplay, contrasting with Grace Ashcroft's horror-driven arc in 2028. Leon may use vehicles and traverse large levels, while Grace's campaign reportedly features open-world exploration and atmospheric horror, offering distinct experiences for each protagonist. Capcom is set to showcase Resident Evil Requiem on September 24th's broadcast of TGS 2025, where Leon's involvement could be officially confirmed. Let's go ahead and take a look here at some other details that was released. It said that we had a leaked image of what Leon may look like now set in his timeline of 2020, and the image is this one. So if you see here, we got kind of a one-eyed Leon hanging out around here. Now, this is not a confirmed leak, but this has supposedly been leaked, and this is our first image of what Leon may look like in the game. So I find that pretty interesting. I'm curious how he ended up losing an eye, but we'll probably figure out that out during the game, or maybe he loses it during the game. We'll have to wait and see. All that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day. And our next game news topic is regarding a new Mafia game reportedly greenlight following the success of a Mafia Old Country. This comes to us from Game Rant as well. Forgive me, I'm gonna pronounce her name horribly wrong, but actress Karen Conti, who played Isabella Torsis in Mafia Old Country, excuse me, revealed during a live stream that the new Mafia game has been greenlit by 2K. While it's unknown whether the next installment will be a direct sequel to this standalone entry, developers may continue the linear story-driven framework of the Old Country. Despite mixed reviews and a modest peak of 35,000 consecutive players on Steam, Hanger 13 continues to update Mafia Old Country, suggesting the strong internal support for the franchise's future. Now, we don't know what the detail and the number breakdown is, but if they have greenlit a sequel, I'm sure the numbers are looking great for console players. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And I'm very curious, have you guys played Mafia, and are you excited that we're going to be getting a sequel for this? I think it makes a lot of sense. Mafia really tries to not necessarily compete with Grand Theft Auto, but they do have the opportunity to really do great storytelling, and it's a very fun and interesting franchise. So I'm very curious where they're going to go further in the future, and I think it's interesting that this most recent one was more story driven than open world, kind of like the last ones were. So I'm very curious where this next one will go, if they're going to still keep it story driven, or if they might lean more into that open world what it used to be. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about that. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic. And our next game news topic is regarding Xbox consoles prices rise again in the US. The Series X hits $649 starting this October 3rd. Go ahead and take a look at this article from IGN, giving us more of a breakdown. Microsoft has raised US prices for Xbox Series S and X model beginning on October 3rd, with increasing ranges from $20 to $70. The Series X the 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition will now retail for $799. No price changes are planned outside of the US. Accessories such as controllers and headsets remain unaffected. Xbox, hold on one second. Xbox attributes the hike in price according to changes in the microeconomy environment, blaming it or trending on tariff, manufacturing costs, and competitive pricing. Of course, since the Xbox went up in price, or since the PlayStation kind of went up in price. But here's the breakdown of what we're looking at. It looks like it's going to be going from $379.99 to almost 400, and for the 1 terabyte it's going to 450. Series S is going from 550 to 600, and 600 to 650 for the disc version, and that 2 terabyte one, which we mentioned, is going to go up to $800. dollars. Now, I don't know a lot of people that are buying Xboxes as it is, but I guarantee you this will definitely stop people from buying it any further than they already have. But let me know what you guys think about this price hike. Are you kind of pissed off that we're seeing such a ridiculous price hike for this console, or do you think it makes sense with everything going on and with the tariffs and stuff like that? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And also, if you're interested in getting an Xbox, you better run out and get it before October 3rd, because having the prices jump up this much is a bit ridiculous. All that being said, guys, let's go ahead and move on to our next game news topic of the day. I'm kind of running through these today, but our next game news topic is a bit of a sensitive subject. So if you guys aren't into the political landscape, I don't normally like talking about this, but when it comes to news regarding video games in video games or in film, and political things tend to happen, it's kind of something that we need to discuss because it affects the games that we all know and we all love. But that being said, it looks like the Ghost of Yotei Studio fires developer over Charlie Kirk's assassination joke, citing zero tolerance policy. There's also mention of Ready or Not in this article, so let me go ahead and break this down for you guys. Sucker Bunch co-founder Brian Filming confirmed the firing of longtime developer Drew Harson after she joked online about Charlie Kirk's assassination, stating the studio does not tolerate or make light of murder. Harson isn't alone. Other developers, including a Ready or Not community manager, was also dismissed for similar remarks following Kirk's death on September 10th during the speech at Utah Valley University. I'll have that one as well, and I'll pull that up right now. What that community manager said, but here was the actual quote from Sucker Punch. It says, "I think we're aligned as a studio that celebrating and making light of someone's murder is a deal breaker for us, and we condemn that kind of in no uncertain and we condemn that kind of in no certainty, no certain terms." Sorry, it's worded weirdly if you don't have the pause there. Anyways, guys, but that being said, let's go ahead and take out what the Ready or Not community manager said about Charlie Kirk in their, I believe this is their Discord. It looks like here, can you add Charlie Kirk or Charlie Kick to the filter temporary? I did just, Charlie Kirk. Funny you mentioned that because me and my roommates are literally just talking about him getting shot. All I have to say is nothing of value was lost. That was their comment. And then someone here says, yeah, but that is not our official position. I'm assuming that's someone from the company outside of their community manager. So it's just interesting to see this happen in this industry and in a lot of different industries. People are losing their jobs over something like this. Now, a lot of people are citing freedom of speech and stuff like that, but I just want to remind everybody that you are a representative of your company. If you work for them, you kind of represent them as their employee. And because of comments like that were made about from the Sucker Punch employee, people have stopped pre-ordering the game or canceled their pre-order in general. So that's going to lose the company money. So whether you're working for a company or not, you got to remember, not everyone thinks the way you do. Not everyone hates the way everyone else hates, and the world is very interesting because it's full of people with different feelings and beliefs behind everything that they do. So just know that there are consequences for what you say on the internet, because you do represent your company and you do represent something behind yourself, unless you're working for yourself. And losing customers and losing business is not what video games and not what films are all about. That being said, guys, I hope none of you are out there inciting violence or being a dick about things. But that being said, guys, let's move on to hopefully better news. Let's go ahead and move on to our last game news topic of the day. And our last game news topic is regarding Sega's trademark sparks rumors of arcade compliant reveal on Tokyo Game Show. Is that compliant? Yeah. Compilation. It's Compilation. Go ahead and take a look here. Anyways, guys, Sega recently trademarked the title Arcade Paradise on September 19th, fueling speculation that the retro arcade game collection may be announced at the upcoming Tokyo Game Show. Despite sharing a name with a 2002 indie title, Sega's trademark appears unrelated, as Wired Productions pushed the original arcade paradise in Japan, not Sega. Sega is expected to unveil 4 unannounced titles during the September 25th through 28th event. The arcade paradise could be among them, possibly revealing delighted classics from the arcade catalog. I would be interested in seeing what arcade style games that they're gonna showcase. Like here's one for example in this image right here. So I'd be very interested in what games they might add to this arcade if they do end up doing this. I think that a lot of the Dreamcast games could be added. Now I'm not sure if when they say arcade they actually mean their arcade games or an arcade style of game. So I'd be very interested to see what they end up developing and what they end up putting together if they're going to be putting something like this together. The only thing that throws me off, and the only reason I don't think this is going to happen for the Tokyo Showcase, they just got the trademark on September 19th. Why would they have something ready for a show 10 days later if they didn't already have the trademark months in advance? Unless they were doing legal disputes, I'm not sure, but that's the one thing that kind of throws me off about this story in general. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for a possible arcade bundle or something like that coming from Sega from their Classes games? And list off some games that you guys might be interested in checking out there. All right, guys, that does it for our game news topics. We're going to go ahead and move on to our movie news topics. And our first movie news topic of the day is regarding the weekend box office. So let's go ahead and take a look and break it down. It looks like Him opened at number one with $13.5 million, followed by The Conjuring: Last Rites at number two with $12.95 million. And it looks like a ridiculous drop for Demon Slayer Infinite Castle at an 80% drop, dropping from 70 million to $11.8 million in at number three, followed by number four being Downton Abbey, the grand final at $6.3 million, and at number five, The Long Walk at $6.3 million as well. Now, I'm sure these ones might flip. We'll have to wait to see which one ends up being number five and number four. Right now, it's saying that Downton Abbey might have made more money. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But I want to go ahead and take a look at what Demon Slayer has done in its run, which is kind of crazy. Now, I know last week it broke the anime opening weekend box office, beating Pokemon. But it looks like it was a bit of a hell of a drop, but still 11 million in that opening weekend did pretty well for this movie. And worldwide, it's currently sitting at $555 million. So I'm sure that they're very happy at the studio that developed this anime, making over 450 million internationally alone and another 100 million domestically. So we'll see what ends up happening after its long box office run, but I'm sure that they're celebrating and they're very happy over there at that studio. Let's go ahead and take a look at The Conjuring: The Last Rites as well. Currently sitting at around $400 million worldwide, so they're absolutely doing successful there. I'm sure the studio is very happy with this movie. We will probably be seeing another Conjuring movie, whether it's a prequel or whether it's a continuation from one of their other horror franchises or inputs, The Nun or whatever. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But congratulations to the weekend box office movies. I don't think Him opened up that well. 13.5 is not that good, at least. But this is a lower budget horror movie, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure they were looking for more success. And The Long Walks looks like it's struggling to just capture its audience. But let me know what you guys thought about this weekend box office. Did anything surprise you, or did everything look pretty normal to you? Let me know what you guys think. Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic. And our next movie news topic is regarding Tom Holland suffers a concussion on set of Spider-Man: Brand New Day. Go ahead and take a look here. Now, mind you, there's mixed reports saying that he was rushed to the hospital. Some saying that it wasn't that bad, but he needed to get checked up. But regardless, it looks like there will be a delay in filming. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Filming on Spider-Man: Brand New Day was suspended after Tom Holland suffered a mild concussion. So we're getting mixed reports saying that it was more of a major concussion. Some are saying it was a mild concussion, but hopefully this one's correct and it's more of a mild concussion here. On the Glasgow set, he expected to resume work after a short break. Holland had Holland had expressed excitement about shooting on real locations, describing the Glasgow set as a massive set piece, reminiscent of earlier Spider-Man films. The film is directed by Denton Daniel Craig and stars, well, you guys already know, it's set to be released on July 24th, 2026. So hopefully Tom Holland is okay, but it looks like we have another actor down, causing delays to filming. Our first actor would be not Kevin Feige. Oh my God, Henry Cavill for the set of Highlander. It looks like he hurt his foot, and it looks like Tom Holland hit his head here on the set. So hopefully he's doing okay, and we can get back to filming the film, and hopefully things turn out all right. We'll keep you updated if anything changes, but we all hope he's okay. Go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic of the day, and it looks like our next movie news topic is regarding the Avengers Doomsday leak just revealed the first look at 28 character costumes. Now, before I scroll down and show you guys what those costumes are, let's go ahead and read a little bit more about this going on. A leaked product gift bag showcased illustrations of 28 characters from Avengers Doomsday featuring updated designs of Thor, Captain America, Loki, and the Fantastic Four, alongside X-Men costumes, Magneto, Cyclops, Mystique, and more. The leak includes a first visuals of Franklin Richards, son of Reed and Susan Storm, seated with Doctor Doom. Interesting. Hinting at a major storyline involving the multiverse and mutant legacy. Characters like Hulk, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, and Young Avengers members are missing from the lineup, suggesting the Marvel is holding back key reveals for future promotional waves. We'll have to wait and see there. But let's go ahead and take a look at this image that everyone is discussing here, shall we? And this is the image. It looks like we got to look at our Doctor Doom, Thor, Captain America, Ant-Man, all the Fantastic Four here, Bucky, Shuri, Shang-Chi, Loki. I believe this is Yelena. Oh my God, I can't. Red Guardian. I think that's M'Baku. That's Namor. I believe this one's supposed to be Magneto, Professor X, Gambit, Mystique, Beast, Cyclops, Nightcrawler, U.S. Agent, Ghost, Falcon, Sentry, and this is Franklin Richards, if I'm not mistaken. So very interesting. Let's go ahead and do a little deeper dive as far as character designs. The far left is typical. I mean, Doctor Doom, it's hard to mess that design up. I mean, that's why the Fan Four Stick movie did so bad. They can't believe they messed up that Doctor Doomsday. So he looks great. Fantastic Four, typical, looks good. New suits from, it looks like Shang-Chi. I'm not sure if he's supposed to have red here, but it looks like he's wearing a black suit. Loki looks fine. Namor looks interesting. I'm loving his suit. It looks like M'Baku kind of taking on the king role with some of this jewelry here. I wish we could see more of Magneto, but we can't. But it looks typical Professor X. But here's where we get the interesting costumes. The Gambit looks great like he did in Deadpool and Wolverine. The Mystique, it looks like we're actually getting her costume and she's not going to be running around naked like she did in the past movies. We're actually getting her typical white costume, which is interesting. And the costume of most importantly right here is Cyclops with his classic, seatbelt look, I guess you can say, which looks pretty awesome. Nightcrawler looks phenomenal as well. Sentry, which we already knew looked great. But right here, these just these X-Men costumes alone, these four just really stand out to me and look absolutely phenomenal. But let me know what you guys think of these little costume hints here. I was very interested that this was the leak and everyone on the internet was talking about it. Not really much to showcase, but very interesting nonetheless. Costumes are costumes, but I would love and I cannot wait to actually see their costumes like on film and seeing Cyclops in his actual X-Men costume. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Which costume excites you the most, and are you surprised that this was even leaked in the first place? Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic of the day. And our next movie news topic is about Mandalorian and Grogu. Now, before I tell you guys my opinion on the trailer, let me read you guys some details from this article. The trailer showcases Pedro Pascal's Din Djarin and Grogu, Baby Yoda, toppling over an AT-AT, battling sci-fi beasts, including Rancor-like monsters in Rauta the Hutt's arena. I don't know who that is. I think that's Jabba the Hutt's son. Sigourney Weaver plays a fighter pilot Jeremy Allen White portrays Jabba's son Rota, and Johnny Koyan, I'm pronouncing his name right, appears as an Imperial warlord. Um, Cameos from Babu Freak and Zeb Orleos. I don't know who the hell. I know who Babu Freak is. He's a little guy. Set after the fall of the Empire, the film follows the new Republic enlightening Mando and Grogu to help stabilize the galaxy. Directed by Jon Favreau, it hits theaters on May 22nd, 2026. Now, if you guys haven't seen the trailer, I'll have a link to the description down below so you guys could take a look at it for yourself. That's also, I believe, in this article right here if you guys want to look at it for yourselves as well. But overall, when I was watching the trailer, I I hate to say this, but Star Wars doesn't excite me like it used to. And I think it's just all the bad stuff that Disney has kind of put out for Star Wars lately. It just seems like lackluster and not as exciting as it once used to be for me. I get a little annoyed at seeing certain things. Like, this looked like a TV show episode and not an awesome space adventure movie. It just looked like a teaser for the next season of Mandalorian and Grogu. And I don't know if that's because they programmed me to think that way for the Mandalorian show, or I don't know if it's just how I felt about this movie or this trailer in particular, saying words. Um, but yeah, I just found it very lackluster, not very meaningful, not very exciting. Even the Grogu stuff, which are very cute, I didn't find very funny. Scorny Weaver grabbing the chips from him when he's trying to pull it, that didn't make me laugh. The little end thing that Babu Freak said didn't make me laugh, and it's just sadly a movie I'm not excited for, and that really hurts my feelings almost, because I want to be excited for Star Wars content and I'm just not. But let me know what you guys think about this trailer. Did it excite you? Did it get your blood pumping? Is it something that you're looking forward to seeing? Hey, at the end of the day, I'm still going to be at the theater checking this movie out when it's released, even though I'm not that excited for it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Were you excited for this trailer? Go ahead and move over to our last movie news topic of the day. And our last movie news topic is regarding Sylvester Stallone pitching an AI de-aged role for the Rambo prequel, despite studio moving forward without him. Go ahead and take a look here. Sylvester Stallone revealed on a podcast that he pitched himself for an AI de-aged version of Teen Rambo, claiming modern technology could convincingly recreate his young likeness in that era. Forgive me, guys. Millennium Media is developing the prequel with Noah Centineo. I'm pronouncing it horribly wrong. Centineo, whatever, in talks to star as and directed by Jalmir Halder. Jesus, my fucking dyslexia is kicking in, or I just can't say names. Anyways, let's go ahead and move. The film will explore Rambo's Vietnam War origins and expected to begin filming in Thailand in early 2026. The franchise has earned over $800 million globally since Stallone's debut in First Blood. So I think it's interesting that Stallone would pitch himself as a teen version or a de-aged version. I get it. He doesn't want to see the role portrayed as anyone else. You know, he's the only one that has portrayed it. It's kind of like a Indiana Jones thing. You don't really want to see anyone but Harrison Ford in the role, and I guess he doesn't want to see anyone else but himself in the role. And we do have the technology to de-age an actor, kind of how they did with Harrison Ford. But I do think it's time for the franchise to move past Sylvester Stallone, only because his last movie didn't do so well at the box office, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. The last Rambo film was Rambo Last Blood. And Rambo Last Blood made approximately, let's go ahead and look at the box office. I'll pull it up for you guys right here. Take a look at this. A Rambo Last Blood globally made only $91 million. Now, mind you, this is 2019, kind of start of COVID, but I don't still think that's a factor here. So Sylvester Stallone's kind of clout as Rambo has fallen off, and Sylvester Stallone as a big action star has kind of fallen off, which is sad to see because I love Sylvester Stallone's movies and I love him as an actor. And Rambo: Last Blood was just not a good movie overall, if you ask me. I just didn't really like it. Now the other Rambo from 2008, just to show you guys a difference, it didn't make all that much money as well. It made $113 million worldwide. So these movies with the $50 million budget, just these movies don't make a lot of money with Rocky starring in the role or with Sylvester Stallone starring in the role. So it just makes no sense to bring him back. They could probably get a younger actor, get a fresher look, get a fresher start, maybe even continue from this movie to another First Blood, almost like a reboot. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully, they have a decent budget for this film. Nothing crazy like $50 million. I think they should make this movie like 25, 30, and see if they can make a decent profit and start a new franchise. But I don't think it makes sense for them to spend a lot of money de-aging Sylvester Stallone because that CGI would cost quite a bit of money. It just makes no sense for a movie like this. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you wish they would make Sylvester Stallone Rambo again by de-aging him, or do you think it makes a lot of sense that they're going to be moving on from him and having someone else cast in the role? Let me know what you guys think. Let's see, and that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.